expecting to defend every pin in every rotation.
So 6-2 is where you have 2 setters and 2 opposites as an overpass is generated right away on the very first serve by Louisville. They haven't had a ton of aces this year, but they don't give them up. Chloe Chacoin, the transfer star from Purdue, with the first ace. 6-2, you have 2 opposites, 2 setters. You see them rotating in and out. A 5-1, the setter stays the whole time. You get an attacker out of the back row. That's Louisville's system. Transition opportunity right away. And it is not converted yet. That ball sneaking over. Blast inside the block. That's Bridget Malone getting the start, the freshman, and there's a big stuff block. Zoe Barrett on the right.
And she is joined in that block by Jackie Taylor, a player who has really evolved this season, coming along, becoming one of the best blockers in the ACC.
So Barrett to the back row. They now have 3 hitters in the front, and immediately they attack middle, and high does Louisville.
That's Sherman coming right behind her setter, Nilese Cabello. And as you would expect, we see early Louisville trying to establish the middle to open things up for their smaller outsides.
And then Tran with the serve. Dig by Chacoin. That is up into the Jumbotron. Playable on your side. Deep corner swing. Finds the court. And that is Peyton Peterson with a kill. As we look at Dan Meske, first season as head coach, but 9th overall with the program. One-time outside hitter at Ohio State. National semifinals for him as a player. National semifinals and finals as a coach. And it's back-to-back servers putting aces in the log.
And it's really not been a piece of the puzzle for Louisville in terms of their success. Coach said we're not an aggressive serving team, but we try to be a smart serving team and keep that ratio of errors low.
Well, they're aggressive at the moment. Here's Malone, the star of Friday night in a reverse sweep against Notre Dame. And the star on that play with the right hand.
Malone, a career-high 12 kills off the bench in their win over Notre Dame, gets the start here today in this top 10 match against Louisville. Not only the start, but starter across the front row where she's taken several swings and now the big block.
Bridget Malone on a Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And if you're thinking of a famous Malone in Colorado, you're right. We'll talk more about that as we go here as Kalyssa Blackshear gets the kill. The opposite who played middle in high school out in California, the Torrance area. As Hannah Kenny checks in to serve, the Villa Park, Illinois native. Both these teams doing a nice job recruiting their area, but also pulling some talent from the surrounding states. Service down the line. They're targeting Malone early. And that ball is going to go wide.
Yeah, no surprise that we see the serve down the line at Malone. Coach Shaw told us she will develop as a passer, and that is a hard adjustment to make in the college game.
Louisville, not typically aggressive from the line. It's paying off right now in set 1.
At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Be ready. Wherever the season takes you, Marriott Bonvoy has a hotel brand for every kind of fan. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
When investing leads to questions, JP Morgan Wealth Management has powerful tools, research from expert analysts, and a single view of your banking and investing accounts right in the Chase mobile app. When you want to take control of your financial future, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
When your collegiate athlete gets their first start, it's great to be in the stands. Mike Malone alongside Jocelyn Malone there, parents to Bridget Malone. Mom, actually, the volleyball player, played at Providence College for 4 years. Of course, Dad, Coach in the NBA said it's a lot easier that they chose volleyball. Easier for me to watch.
Yes, absolutely.
Their daughter was absolutely outstanding on Friday, and here she has become the target early. How can UNC help her in the reception?
Well, I think obviously they're going to go ahead and make the sub. They can shade, yeah, they can shade that way. Or you know what, here early in the match, you go ahead, you make the change. Allow her to focus on just the front row. It's a huge match. She's young. Take something off of her plate. I like this.
Yeah, I like that. Expect to see her back when that position rotates to the front. To the outside, that's Sophie right there. Sophie Hampton averaging more than 4 points a set.
And 17 kills on Friday night. Look at the high finish. I mean, she is such a big jumper, has the ability to go over block. That time just a wrist snap over the top of the block.
Now it's UNC trying to apply the pressure. They do so from the service line. They'll go overhead. Back straight down the line. Dug to the back line. Chelsea Thorpe let off a heater. Yeah. And Chloe Chicoine is going to get some hazard pay.
Yeah, couldn't hit it any better if you're Chelsea Thorpe. It was really nice footwork. They have two right-handed players who swing from the right side for Carolina, and so good footwork to get that ball on her right side, right down the line. But did we mention the fact that Chicoine is like another libero out on the court, the way she defends?
Now on the left side, blocking for Chicoine. That is where the opposites have kind of taken advantage of Louisville. Olivia Babcock having a historic night, more than 40 kills against them in a 5-setter.
It's certainly a concern for Louisville. Their left sides, for as well as they defend, they're smaller blockers at the net. And so strategically and tactically, they have to decide how they're going to adjust against a team like Carolina with two huge right sides.
Going just 5'10", beautiful pickup there by May. Louisville offense in rhythm, blocked anyway. Not just an attacker, Sophie Hampton stopping the much taller Cressy.
And a play for Louisville that was money in the bank a season ago has run into some walls this year.
Mike Shaw in a similar situation to Dan Meskey. Coach of UNC bringing this program back to national prominence, and there is Chicoine exacting a little revenge. Mike Shaw, third season as head coach, and 8th overall with the program. Began his coaching career under Russ Rose at Penn State. That's way to go. Came to the Carolina staff in 2018 after working in the club scene for a while. Said his kids wanted to stay here. Just love creating an environment that the players want to be in every day. In rhythm to the outside, the Louisville block is there, so the teams trade stuffs at the net.
Sherman alongside Cabello up there. And we'll get another look at this finish from Hampton. And when she's blocked, it feels like a lower finish for her. When she goes up high and gets that ball at its highest point, she can go over blocks. But for her, it's all about finishing high.
And Cabello at 6 foot is tall. They get a hold of another one to that same pairing. Cabello will play it up. Kenny looking for the assist. Roll shot, where do you go? Chicoine off the net. Chip in hands. Love that the crowd is back in the building and enjoying some volleyball here at a typically basketball school. Big high swing. First test of your cardiovascular fitness. Chicoine blocked. So much work for the blockers.
Yeah, and that is Shutter. 3 in blue for Carolina, putting in the work. Look at this save by Bollinger. Defense wins this point, backcourt and front. Shutter is a player for Carolina. They're 3 in blue, who you're not going to see get many sets over the course of the match, but coach said she seized the opportunity that was open in that second middle blocker spot with the way she was defending at the net, and we see that there.
Yeah, they ran a competition with more than 4 players looking for that second spot as Louisville looks for the touch and gets it. That's Hannah Sherman with the back slide.
And Louisville, 2 middles who are comfortable behind the setter off 1 foot, and you see Cabello trying to get them going early.
Cabello, ACC Freshman of the Year last year, more than 700 assists. Targeting Malone, who's back in, and it's another ace. Or if you're Malone, if you're the player, put yourself in the 10 jersey right now. Where do you go mentally?
You know, I think you have to dig into the fact that a challenge, you know it's coming at you, dig into that competitive nature that no doubt if you've watched Bridget Malone at all, you know she has. It becomes a little mini competition within yourself.
May gave her a bunch of help, and she'll give her a set here. Malone trying to chip into the block, but it's straight down. And it's a tough start for the freshman in her first opportunity. 13-6. Louisville has come out the aggressor. Second timeout already taken by UNC.
It's the final game, folks. This one wins the series.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising, which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. Here, take mine.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking steel tools. Hurry into your local steel dealer or shop online.
Introducing Sports Center for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Welcome back to this top 25 matchup. What's at stake here is an opportunity to stay undefeated if you're North Carolina. 10th straight win and stay atop the ACC, where they currently lead Pitt and Stanford, who have one loss. Louisville, SMU each have 2. Miami maybe the surprise of the conference with 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Louisville's been pretty dominant as of late over everybody, including North Carolina. Malone on the left, she's been targeted. We'll see how much Maddie May can help her out. Louisville digs that one over. Looking for the corner, cannot get there. Quick into the middle, another long rally. Chacoin trying to go hands out, that stayed in the court. Roll shot is easily picked up. Right side, Blackshear down. Blackshear new to the opposite spot this season.
Yeah, played middle her entire career, but as a freshman sold on the fact that by going to Louisville, she'd have that opportunity on the right side. It's the kill for the point, but it's the transition defense that keeps Louisville in this long rally. And then you see Blackshear, her ability to go over the top. She hits it high angles.
Malone, better opportunity here. Good high swing dug by Schrand. Blackshear again takes a cut at it, and a net violation is going to give her that point.
Schrand, the libero there for Louisville in that black jersey, just stepping into the angle and digging ball after ball. Coach told us he made a huge competition for that libero jersey. He wanted her to feel like winning that jersey was the hardest thing she had ever done, but he didn't give it to her. She gave it to herself by the hard work to have the confidence to play libero in this league.
That ball was tight to the net. Didn't bother Laney Smith, who took a high confidence swing at it. Those were the kind of swings North Carolina took on Friday night as they reverse swept Notre Dame 15-13 in the 5th. And they were beaten soundly 19-15 in the first 2 sets.
Yeah, and Coach told us coming into this week, we know hard things are coming. The question is, how will we respond when we're pushed? And so thrilled with this way his team responded on Friday night.
Chacoin smartly placed. That'll have to go over. Louisville in rhythm again. Back to the middle and down. They're running a fair amount of middle when they are in system. Sherman with another.
Sherman really fast in front. This is flat and away from Nialise Cabello and continue to create opportunities for the middle.
See what Sherman can do defensively here. 6th in the conference in blocks. Leads her team. No hands and another hitting error for UNC. Louisville solidly in control.
And Louisville more than accomplishing their goal of putting pressure on the freshman in her first start, because what they're doing is turning errors into errors. When you overload a player in serve receive, now she's rattled, and the offense that we expect from her is suffering a little.
Serve receive keeps suffering, and Blackshear keeps feasting.
When you look at North Carolina's hitting efficiency at 0, you think offense is the problem, but the problem right now is all about how they're handling serve. They cannot get in the system. It has been great pressure from Louisville from the service line.
Well, that is a tough experience for a first start for a freshman player to have to face Louisville, who can pick you apart, as now Pierce checks in for Malone, and she immediately gets the same treatment.
Wow. The block of Hannah Sherman alongside Blackshear. It is a difficult task for anyone, and they are right where they need to be because of the fact that, again, that Carolina serve receive is only giving them 0 to 1 option situations, making it much easier on the Louisville block.
6'3" and 6'5" out there on the pin. Doug coming our way. Peterson with just enough room. Right back into the left front. Got a touch. Do you look for Peterson outside? No, Blackshear staying tight. Opposites doing battle. And that one trickling off the tape out of bounds. Point Louisville. You still got it, Missy.
Wow, I'm telling you, I dove out of the way. I wanted her to know, I wanted her to feel confident that she had space. I feel like we played an important role in that one. Not quite as important as the role that Peyton Peterson played, however.
And she got right back in and got that control block.
She is such a great all-around player, isn't she?
Pierce targeted again. She'll blast into the angle. Chacoin cannot handle it, so there's a kill from the outside. Played last year at Virginia Tech, did Haley Pierce. Originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's been kind of a regular feature with this program under the leadership of Mike Shaw's kids returning home.
Yeah, and I think he explained that to us so well. I think it's natural for players to want to return home when they're in the transfer portal or get closer to family. But also, he's talked about the fact that they only have 2 weeks to get to know these players. And so leaning into some kids that you already have a familiar relationship with helps you to know exactly what you're getting in a very short time of recruitment.
Well, Mike Shaw knew he was getting a test today. Didn't know it'd be like this. 21-8 to open as Blackshear runs a naked 2 and kills that one. Yeah. Another tough serve. That is Cressy. All the weapons are working.
And I like the fact that they just go with Cressy in transition on a really simple, quick one ball down the middle. It's a one-on-one opportunity. She and Cabello at times have not found a great rhythm, and they've talked about giving her some high probability, easy sets to get Kara Cressy going.
Chacoin behind the big block, picks it up. Blackshear has to take out the trash, cannot there. Peterson tries to keep it alive, and instead that should have become something. The crowd very upset. I thought for sure that play was dead. Now it is. That seems a just result.
Wow.
I mean, the second contact is looser nowadays, but
I think Chacoin actually hit it twice, though. I think she hit it once and then again. And it looks as though we're going to get a challenge from Meske here. He thinks there was a touch, which if he wins his challenge, I got to feel like Carolina comes right back with a challenge of their own.
Challenge system, you're going to get 2 of them. You keep them if you're right. That was critical for Mike Shaw earlier on Friday when he had to challenge over and over again. There were 8 in the match, 6 from his side.
Yeah.
Louisville is challenging. There was a net fault on the play.
Another extended play. We will send Scott Lowry into the replay booth to figure out when Dan Meske saw a blue jersey in the net.
We will see.
Louisville Cardinal 15-4, 7-2 in ACC play. Having lost 2 last weekend, both in 5, both where they led. As we get a good look at it there, they led 2-1 to Louisville in both the matches against Pitt and SMU. Now, Missy, I think you nailed it here. If there is a net violation detected there, which it appeared there may be, and we have a reversal, will we then have a for contacts?
You would think.
Challenge go the other direction, in which case everyone, if we get a reversal there, would have maintained their challenges.
Exactly.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp, but you can play a reverse on a reverse.
And everyone comes out on top?
Yeah. Anyone have a skip card? How about a draw 4? Yeah, I think they're going to win this one. That's going to be Thorpe, Chelsea Thorpe, with her right fingertips. So hair into the net is legal, fingertips are not. So we are in the replay booth here inside this beautiful historic building.
After review, the call will be reversed. There's a net fault on number 77. The point is awarded to Louisville. They retain their challenge.
So they do retain their challenge here in Carmichael Arena, but will there be a challenge of 4 contacts? Said, do you want a challenge? And interesting, Mike Shaw said no. Do you want a challenge? Was the question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let it ride. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, it's 23-8. Why risk your challenge?
I agree. Now, we believe there was a whistle for the serve. But the up official stopped. Louisville's quick on the draw to serve. So server is stopped, and now will be put in play.
Schramm down the line. And it has been a rough first set in reception. That's a reversal from what Louisville faced on Friday night at Duke.
Yeah, Louisville started very slow at Duke. They were down 1-6. I mean, just not the team that we expected to see. And Coach Meskey said, quite honestly, we just played poorly, you know? So it has to feel good about the way his team has started today.
Opportunity to close a lopsided first set here for Louisville. Schramm with the dig. Peterson, tough swing. Did she get some fingertips? Doesn't matter, she's in the net. Either way, point UNC.
Peterson looking to the line judge behind her for a touch call. Not coming.
So Louisville with a second chance to close here in set number 1. In the serve, Julia Bollinger. Bollinger puts it down the middle. Good touch on that high attack from Cressy. Peterson is blocked. So what are you looking for here if you're UNC?
I think you're looking for momentum, right? And a block is a great momentum builder. So just trying to end set 1 on a little bit more of a positive note. Just a few points here in a row, a couple positive plays to take with you into the next set.
Bollinger right down the middle once again. Blackshear facing a 3-woman block. And getting the transition swing, which will be covered. Back to the other pin. Louisville not terribly clean in transition here. Was there high hands? No. We look forward to the next opportunity to be tested and see what we've learned when we go 5 again.
He said, we're not going to let it chase us. We're going to chase it. That's the mentality.
All right, well, UNC is on the chase now. Chasing a little bit better start as they were down early and quickly in the first. Been some nice defense on both sides throughout. Clean up the serve reception, and UNC be right in it. Right side, Thorpe too tight, looks for the reset, but the block is too big. Let's take a look at our match thus far. It was a dominant first set.
Kalyssa Blackshear, only a freshman. Look at those 5 kills, and they've held Safi Hampson to 1 kill. This is a UNC team that was hitting negative 083 at the end of the first set. Their strength is the fact that they have 4 dominant pins, but that's completely negated without a good first contact, and that's the story of set 1.
Yeah. And 10 points is the season low output in any set for the Tar Heels. That ball finds the antenna. Louisville not quite as dominant to start. Starting the second set, Haley Pierce averaging about 2.5 kills per set. They do have some fantastic options on the pin. That's a nice flat serve. Louisville in trouble. These are the ones you have to convert. Well, backslide action of Thorpe. She responds to the block. And a cover. 77 is everywhere. Blackshear, a little bit under it, doesn't matter. Stretches over the top of it.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain the success of Blackshear unless you get a good close-up look at the angles that she swings at. She's just high, and she's able to create really sharp angles from the right side. It's such a natural fit for her. She has a really bright future.
She's not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, unbelievable. We said, how did you get a player out of California? And Coach Meskey says to us, well, I asked our club coach, did he think she'd possibly come this far? And he said, no. He said, so we really didn't recruit her. And then when the time came that we could give her a call, I thought, hey, why not? You know, what do you think? And she wants to come visit. You know, he said, so you just never know what you're going to get.
You know what you're going to get from Peyton Peterson on the left as you look at Blackshear there out of Torrance, California, starred for the Tartans. Living in Lomita. Yeah, said she loved the color red.
As displayed by her latest do, which I just love.
Well, and that was present before. That was pre-existing, so Louisville was a perfect fit. And that dump is a perfect solution. Cabello.
Nilese Cabello is one of the most offensive-minded setters in the conference, and she didn't go to it in set one, which I think is so interesting. Teams will often prepare for an offensive setter. They're talking about it, they're ready for it, and then as the match goes on, you forget.
That ball's too tight.
Sneaks one in.
Cabello gets shut back, though. Very nice body control for number 22, Sophie Hampton. That's one of the more difficult plays to make. You as a hitter are trying to salvage a ball and have to jump at the net.
Right.
And joust.
Yeah, Sophie Hampton with 13 attempts, and it's hard for me to remember them because they haven't been quality attempts. It's been a lot of trash balls because of the out-of-system passing.
No one wants trash balls, Missy Whittemore.
No.
Peterson outside versus Thorpe, looking for the wipe. Uncalled, didn't get it. Dan Meskey checking with his crew.
And isn't that the fine line, Kevin? As our game, people try so hard to speed up the set to the outside. Where then do you go ahead and take away some of the speed in an effort to make sure that it's still a clean set? Because that's an error forced by trying to go so fast to the antenna.
Good soft touch on both sides. We've had them. Thorpe tries to get over the top, and she is successful with a touch.
Is such a fun competitor. She plays with real edge, and right now that's exactly what Carolina needs.
Yeah, watch out for 77 in the celebrations. you better have the abs tight, ready for contact. Cabello throws that one to the outside. Thorpe will be in transition. That ball's high and tight. Peterson trying to avoid Thorpe that time, avoids the court as well.
So the set, as you mentioned, was a little high and tight, but guess what? It was coming from middle blocker Taylor at a left back. She serves as a middle blocker for Carolina, and she's a quality defender really back there.
First lead of the match for Carolina. Taylor, tough short serve. That was a heck of a set. Blasted down the line. That's the winner. That's what she was looking for last time.
Nice work by Peyton Peterson, just moving her swing around. And it takes a quality set from Cabello there for her to be able to go down the line against the big block of Thorpe. Just a sliver of line. The set is right in the window, and Peterson with a big rip.
Peyton Peterson, daughter of a coach, sister of a player, twin sister Jaden, playing for mom at Northern Iowa. What a bunch of talent comes out of Iowa. A lot of people talk about Nebraska. Iowa is right up there.
Yes, it is.
Do not sleep on Iowa when it comes to the amount of players that are making an impact in D1 volleyball. Sophie Hampton represents Maryland.
You see the response from the crowd as Sophie Hampton comes up with a big swing here. They just are wanting so bad for her to get involved in this match. Still, look at this. She's still swinging from back at the 10-meter line. Not a fantastic look, but she's able to make something out of it.
So the 6-2 system in now. You notice the switch. Center and opposite as Cressy crushes that one. You look on the North Carolina side, Lainey Smith is back in the right front, number 23.
Look at the pass from Louisville, though. I mean, just right on top of the setter. And that makes side-out offense so easy when you have three choices.
I like that short slide, too. That was way short of the pin, much quicker attack.
It was.
Molly Wilson in to serve, the senior out of Murrieta, California. Got a little longer slide on the other side. Safi straight in the middle of the block. Sherman with another.
We talk about Louisville having one of the best middle blocker combos in the country, and a lot of people are familiar with the name Kara Cressy, but how about Hannah Sherman? She has been a force at the net today.
She already has 6 blocks.
Yeah.
Long back slide from the other side of the court, not there. Scramble play. Working with the left hand.
Yeah, left hand. Safi Hampton. The kills have not come easy, but she just continues to put the work in, and she's having to work against some of the best middle blockers in the country. As we mentioned moments ago, Sherman and Cressy for Louisville sit there at 7. Well, how about number 5 in the country right now? Shutter and Taylor from UNC. So these are number 1 and 2 in the league in blocks percent. So they're also number 1 and 2 in the league in opponent hitting efficiency. That block is what holds their opponent to a low hitting efficiency.
Yeah, you had to wonder what we'd give here in terms of opponent hitting efficiency. Everybody's stressing everybody here in a second as Lauren Shutter brings the crowd alive.
And this is Shutter, who we said moments ago doesn't get a ton of offensive opportunities, and I love the response. The overpass, she finally gets a big rip and a big smile to go with it.
Originally Carmichael Auditorium, now Carmichael Arena, home to this team. And really a right-sized, right-shaped, terrific feel here for college volleyball.
Yeah, the historical nature of this building, but the fact that it's been completely redone on the inside, renovated, and just feels so clean and crisp, and the right size for this game, and really a beautiful place to play.
And this terrific new floor, and it looks sharp. Just the second match being played on the floor as that overpass is cleaned up, so start counting it for Sherman. On the offensive side as well. This building opened in December of 1965, but it has a new lease on life right now with the number 1 in the ACC, North Carolina Tar Heels. That ball is wide. They rebounded well here in the second set from that 25-10 defeat.
Yeah, and not surprised. I think this is a really mature group, and you know, that's what Coach Shaw said. He said once you get into conference play, your opponent knows you so well. You're tested. They're going to stress you in your weaknesses. You have to expect that. And he likes the fact this team is not too high and not too low, and it allows them to play steady throughout a match.
Chicoine off the block, out of bounds.
Chicoine at 5'10" is really considered a small outside. Like in the regular everyday streets of life, a 5'10" female isn't a short girl, but out here that's not big. And so her ability to use hands, tool the block, becomes very important.
Line-to-line serve from Chicoine. Yeah, you have to call something there. Back row setter, so you either call someone over or you call a back row attacker. In this case, back row attacker.
And credit Sherman, she did not reach over. She went up, stayed on her plane, on her side of the net, and waited for the setter to make contact. Then she becomes the back row attacker. Good patience by Sherman.
Line to line again, a little bit more to the middle though as it faded. Good touch, opportunity Louisville. Taken. High snap. What a start for Hannah Sherman.
Sherman, 5 kills on 6 attempts, and as you said, already the big block numbers as well, 6 of those, but it's all starting with the block deflections at the net against Carolina, and then with that backcourt defense that Louisville has, the transition offense just comes naturally.
Yeah, Sherman piled up some career highs against Kentucky, one of those 5 centers earlier this year. She's on pace to break that. Another shot down by Peterson right down the line. She's dialing in that straight.
And Kevin, would you believe Louisville lost 70% of their offense from the season ago? You look at the front row right now. You see Peterson, you see Sherman, Blackshear's only a freshman, and these are some players that we know on the national level, but none of these players were true starters.
You remember some of the names? Charity Looper, Charity Looper, Anna DeBeer, Elena Scott at libero. And that ball is wide.
That's some experience to replace.
Meski and his crew were at home all of last year throughout the playoffs. They're hoping to make another national run as they are establishing control in the second once again.
You won't believe what I found on Etsy. personalized ornaments under $50, and custom stockings with free shipping. What do you think? It's so...
Helen. For affordable holiday decor, special starts on Etsy.
If the Colonel knew we waited this long to bring our tangy, smoky KFC Original Honey Barbecue back, he'd be, a little upset.
I'll get the mop.
The Colonel lived so we could chicken. Back because you begged for it. KFC Original Honey Barbecue.
Dad is a legend. Who can we thank for that? Let Ancestry help you piece together your story with a family history membership and detailed DNA results. Start today at Ancestry.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words.
But that's pretty close.
Hidden Valley Ranch. New bottle, same great flavor.
Tacos at Zaxby's? You know it. They took their famous chicken fingers and sauced them up in a soft tortilla shell. Taco Tuesday? Nah, taco every day. Zaxby's Chicken Finger Tacos. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.com.
We'll carry you from one Sunday of volleyball to another. Next Sunday on ESPN, number 3 Kentucky and number 2 Texas are at 1 p.m. Eastern, followed by number 9 Texas A&M versus number 16 Tennessee at 3 p.m. And mind you, that'll come after those two teams clash on Halloween.
Absolutely, that one you should circle on your calendar. It's going to be a lot of fun. Texas A&M beat Texas in Austin a season ago. I don't think the Longhorns have forgotten.
That'll be a top 10 matchup on Friday, followed by those top 25 tilts on Sunday. Kevin Barnett alongside former collegiate center Nessie Whittemore. Here we go in the second set, a make or break moment maybe for North Carolina. They were shelled in the first. They've been pretty good here in the second. We've had 6 ties and 3 lead changes. But here we're getting a lot more Louisville. Nice dig. You go right back to Blackshear. No, you go into the middle where you've had so much success. Down the line, that's the winner this time for number 33, Haley Pierce.
Haley Pierce spent the last 2 seasons at Virginia Tech. She's a North Carolina native from Charlotte, but this her first season at Carolina, really coming along, a player who had spent most of her time on the right side, so she's making an adjustment to the left side this season.
Yeah, led that team in kills and points.
I noticed in that last rally, Kevin, it's actually Chacoin digging out a left back, and they have the luxury of putting their libero in middle back because both of them are such good defenders.
How about a good blocker? Pierce, back-to-back points. 1 offensive, 1 defensive.
Her experience paying off here in this second set for North Carolina, just leaning into the time she's had on the court, the steadiness she's bringing to the Tar Heels right now.
The hallmark of a good team, too, you need to be able to sub in a piece and have that person have success. It's Pierce tonight. It was Malone on Friday. That same exchange.
And I'll tell you, Louisville said the same thing. They said they did not look good on Friday night at Duke. They used Utterback off the bench and thought she brought them such a nice punch.
Yeah, if we see Ava Utterback, she brings a punch from the service line as well. Pierce right side now. This time blocked.
Peyton Peterson, again, the do-it-all outside for Louisville. There is not a part of the game that she doesn't excel at.
Crossbody. Taylor with some success there. Jackie Taylor out of Miami, Florida, the sophomore middle blocker. Lightning quick right arm.
Yeah, I like the fact that they go to her in that quick serve-receive pattern, just get on the ball fast. She is a player who's getting better and better. Had not played a lot of volleyball in her younger years, was a dancer. Then her mom decided she really wanted her to get into a team sport as she got older, and volleyball was her choice, and a little bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah, mom was a soccer player at Miami. Diving save. 2 in a row. May with this one. Thorpe looking for the corner, measured it right.
Giving the fans here at Carmichael a little something to cheer about is Thorpe. She's the junior out of Chicago. And we've seen her with those big swings down the line, so she creates that shot for herself as the defense digs in, preparing for the big dig.
I saw a beach court out here on campus. Maybe we got to get Thorpe out there. No open hand, but you can roll shot to that corner. Big high swing the other way. That'll be a save. May keeps it alive. They like to go to that middle on a perfect pass, don't they?
And they had the defense on the run. Bollinger, what a beautiful save off the back of the court. She chases it down. May goes with her. They bring it back over the net. But what do you want to do in that situation if you're Louisville is get your offense going as quick as possible before the defense can set back up.
Cressy is 3 of 5 in the middle. Sherman is 5 of 8 in the middle. That ball will be well long. So UNC back to within 3. If they can just keep scoring 1 point here, 1 point there, kind of crawl their way back in. Taylor back to the line. Comes in tied for the lead in aces. Now would be a good time. Almost. Overpass, just as good.
You almost called that one. I was about to be really impressed.
You shall remain unimpressed. The viewers shall remain impressed with Jackie Taylor serving. See if she drives this one. Short. Almost 2 in a row. Bigger block on the outside. Boy, they can really put up some hands on the Louisville side.
Well, I tell you, Coach said to us, Coach Metzke of Louisville said to us, I'm so glad we're still a good blocking team.
Yeah.
He said, I had coached the middles for a decade, and now as the head coach, I still have my hand in it, but not quite as much. But I'm really happy that we're still such a good blocking team. I think that's pretty much an understatement.
Second set missed contact. Things starting to get away from North Carolina here. Back-to-back points, 19-15. And that will precipitate a timeout. 19-15. Another critical moment here in the second set as Louisville looks to go up 2-0. Let's take a look at our Week 8 Monday Night Football matchup. The Commanders will be in Kansas City squaring off against Patrick Mahomes and the runner-up Chiefs. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes, as well as that all-new ESPN app. You can check out Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with Scott Van Pelt, the Monday Night Crew at Arrowhead at 6 Eastern. Maybe they'll be runner-up again this year for the Chiefs. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Good Jackie Taylor, the back of her jersey there. She's wearing that number 21. Her father drafted Sean Taylor, number 5 overall, and for a safety, that's a big deal. Made a couple of Pro Bowls and then unfortunately did not survive an in-home robbery. Was mourned widely by the NFL at that time. Both Jackie and her mother in the house at that point, not hurt. And here she honors her father with her own athletic legacy.
Sean, only 24 at the time of his passing, and Jackie, 18 months old. So she said something that she can do to feel connected and honor her father is to wear that number 21 jersey. She has also been asked by the Commanders to help design a statue in honor of her dad that will be on display there. And I just think that is what a special experience that will be for her. She and her father both won high school state championships at Gulliver Prep in Miami, and her mom gave Jackie her father's high school football helmet as a keepsake.
An athletic legacy being carried on through number 21 here at Carolina. Now in her sophomore season, started all of the matches last year as a freshman and leading the team in a couple of categories now. That ball just through the net. Louisville trying to extend the lead again. Will not do it. Cressy is stopped.
Sophie Hampton one-on-one at the pin. Not middle blocker thinking to the outside, not able to catch up. And Sophie Hampton, no problem, as she just takes away the cross court there. And the ball is actually probably traveling out of bounds off the block, but Cressy just can't get out of the way quick enough.
Good pass. Put to the outside. Chicoine. Is that one going to clear? It'll be covered. Peterson playing the close ones. Flying inside. The block is in front of Sophie again. Cressy cannot connect.
That ball a little too wide off of Cabello there. It was short side. Not a lot of room to work with.
19-17, right back. Carolina taking a punch, responding. Looking for the X1, the little rip, doesn't get it, but it's set to the corner.
Such a smart shot by Chicoine, but interesting because Louisville is a team, Coach Meskey said to us, we can go on big runs, but we also tend to give up runs as well. And he said it's not always in the same rotation. You know, in different rotations, it's been an issue. And so we'll see. North Carolina, this one not over yet.
We enter the red zone here in the second set. Perfect pass. That second contact, liberal now. You can do almost anything with it. Play continues. May have been some net contact there. High overpass, played up. The jump eventually finishes it. Well, we've had some extended rallies.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with the backcourt of Louisville. I can look over there right now. You've got the libero and Strand, Kinney in the backcourt alongside Peterson. When they're not back there, it might be Chicoine. It is literally as though they have 3 to 4 liberos out on the court.
Well, yeah, Chicoine's in the left front, so she's going to be the off blocker half the time. A service from Louisville, who's recapturing some of that service pressure from early in the match. 22-17. Every time North Carolina pushes a little bit, Louisville's responding. Molly Wilson with an ace there, 2-year starter at Washington. Beautiful dig by one of the liberos. Yet another Louisville dig. Chicoine blasts inside, May with the pickup. Chicoine again, a late arriving block, that time by Shutter. And then a tool. Lady Smith turns it off the block and out of bounds.
That's really what it takes against this Louisville team is the block deflections and then turning defense into offense to give yourself an opportunity to attack that smaller block.
Well, you have to have that one in. If you want to score some points here on Louisville, I don't think you can let the number 8 team in the nation get to 23. Unfortunate time for their first service error for UNC. It's so consistent. Pierce, good footwork. Oh, a diving save by Strand. Back-to-back attack, Chicoine, second time. Tip is picked up, Pierce once again. Both off blockers doing nice work defensively.
Yes.
This rally keeps going. All 3 hitters in transition. Fourth out of the back row is the winner. How much do you like that setting selection?
So nice. And I mean, it just shows off the high-flying, fast arm of Safi Hampton. I'll tell you right now, Carolina doing such a nice job of defending Chicoine. And when they're out of system, they don't have that sort of dominant back row style attack. And so that works to Carolina's advantage.
3-1 block all over that middle set to Blackshear. Another good touch, May playing just off the edge. Blackshear, high, picked up. Once and not twice. Louisville to a set point.
And the offense has become very left side dominant right now for Louisville in those out of system situations. It feels like maybe they could do a little more to try to work it to Blackshear on the right side and spread the net just a bit.
Been a number of tips low that have kept Blackshear out of some plays.
That is very true, yeah, you're right.
Often the strategy, try and tip it to the opposite, take them out. Pierce, bad pass, she'll get it back. The set at stake. And save. Zoe Barron back in to serve. Thorpe to the front row. She can be impactful in that right front. Matched up with Peterson. And there's that impact.
but she brings the play to back it up. That's what's so fun for Thorpe.
24-21. Fought off 2 set points. Here comes the third. Do they look to Blackshear here? Missed opportunity from Pierce. Has to do it in transition. Left side is a winner. Pierce clutched twice in a row here at match set points.
And she's just being aggressive, attacking the seam.
They enforced the timeout out of Louisville by saving 4 set points. 24-22. Boy, they're catching some momentum at the end of sets here. I think back to that missed serve as critical. They had just scored 1, maybe 2, a little bit of a run. They'd be right there.
You know, I think the difference, though, is we're starting to see some transition defense on the part of North Carolina. How well they defended for long periods of time. Chicoine out there in left front. And as you said, forcing the off blocker into a position to make first contact. They don't have a dominant back row attack. They do have an option with Peyton Peterson back there. But it really became one side, one player to defend offensively. And that all of a sudden put North Carolina in the driver's seat.
Mike Shaw done a nice job last year. A turnaround, 13-2 at home, 23-8 overall. Went to their first NCAA tournament since 21. Would lose to eventual champ Penn State. No shame in that one. Penn State was on a tear with Jess Merzick and Katie Schumacher calling. A historic tournament last year for this program, getting back in it. And for female head coaches, as Katie Schumacher-Cawley became the first ever to win the title. It was going to happen as Louisville was there with Danny Busboom-Kelly, who's now moved on. Left Dan Meskey at the controls on the other side. She is at, of course, #1 Nebraska. I love the coaching start for both these coaches. One started under Russ Rose, that's Mike Shaw at PSU. The other started under John Cook at Nebraska, Dan Meskey.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Zoe Barrett looking for more good stuff from her side here. Trying to get back in the set. The redirect is good. Pierce might have caught her breath on that one.
Yeah. And perhaps, as I said moments ago, Louisville, a team who can go on big runs, can also give up big runs. And there are times they've gotten stuck in rotations. They have Blackshear at the net. They've had success running her down the middle. They send her behind this time.
Big set point. Is it enough? No. Boy, but what a run by UNCC from their side.
I think you can't have 2 inconsistent passes in a row. They have to think about having a hot start and making sure if there's one bad pass, you roll that one under the net, but really challenging themselves.
We'd like to see it get past the block, but that is a gigantic block. We talked about Thorpe and how big she could be. Blackshear might be best at just being huge at the net.
Yeah, and if you ask me a question for Carolina, the second piece would have been unforced errors. Don't have unforced errors. That actually, to me, is not an unforced error. That's an elite level play on the part of Louisville. But you do not want to have consecutive unforced errors.
Right back, same matchup, down the line, and it's wide.
And that is an unforced error. So going wide is an unforced error. That is where Carolina has to minimize those mistakes.
A very common sequence, though. Hitter gets blocked, hitter hits out.
Exactly. So yes, it's an unforced error, but credit the block for making her take an uncomfortable swing.
Tip. Chicoine is under it. That ball's going to find the block and the floor and some crowd noise.
And it really feels to me like, Kevin, some of Sophie Hampton's best looks and her kills are coming when she's in the back court. She can almost see the court better. She has better looks. She has one-on-one opportunities coming down the middle.
Bad pass. And it'll be a point for Carolina. How much should you ride Hampton at this point? She has 27 attempts. Next highest number is 19 for Lainey Smith. Should you just start setting your best attacker at some point?
I'm not afraid to do it. Okay. I think at this point in the match, you gotta have set 3. Now, they do have tons of success from the right side, Carolina. And when they can get the right side going against a smaller block, I think it's a good choice. But when that's not there, I don't think you're looking at attempts right now and counting numbers and thinking balance. At this point in the match, who's my best player? Let's let them determine the outcome of this set.
See how the workload for 22 increases or decreases. That's the naked 2 there. naked because it used to be you would run a combo, a quick in front of a two behind it, and there you're not running a quick.
An interesting Blackshear, and I think one of the reasons that Louisville has not used that play is because we're seeing Carolina bunch block. All the blockers jammed in the middle, and that time it didn't seem to matter. They go to it, and Blackshear goes right through that block. Huge hole.
Chicoine another dig, but this one is wide, and the crowd is trying. Nice crowd inside the Carmichael Arena on this historic campus who welcomed the first student, Hinton James, February 12th, 1795. You know who president was at that point? Who was the president? George Washington.
Washington, perhaps? I think I've heard of him.
15 U.S. states at the time. And UNC became the only university to admit and graduate a student in the 18th century. Yes, the only public university in the 18th century. Boys and girls.
It's a special place here and just beautiful.
Thank you, Professor Freddie Kiger, for all your knowledge and enthusiasm about this great institution. And their outstanding volleyball team. Chicoine with a dig. Joust won by Taylor.
There's the big arm coming out for North Carolina. And something we pointed out earlier, the fact that it's Chicoine in left back for Louisville making that dig attempt. Typically on most teams, that's going to be the libero. But with Chicoine's defensive abilities, they choose to put her in left back. And she's often defending that best attack of the opponent.
Peterson tip thrown back. Chicoine with the coverage. Small plays. Create big ones.
And Hannah Peterson, just the hard, high, deep to the corner. So hard to defend the corners, and Peyton Peterson puts it there every time.
A complete game so far, 7 kills, 8 digs. Sophie, outside. They're really digging that angle. They're doing a nice job.
They are.
Maybe find some line. That one off the shoulder of Cressy is good. Clean contact. Thorpe turns line, dug up. Skipper is good from Chicoine. Sometimes the equipment is your friend.
Chicoine, the small left side block, does her job of creating a deflection. It allows her team to defend behind it. It's a one-option opportunity, though, so it comes right back to her. And she knows that Sophie Hampton has the responsibility of releasing along the net to pick up the off-speed, and she finds that open little spot there in zone 4.
Carolina off to another competitive start here in the third set, as they were in the second after getting punched in the mouth. They're the ones doing the punching. Chelsea Thorpe with the enthusiasm and the play.
And a back row opportunity for Louisville, not something they use a lot. And Thorpe, as we mentioned earlier, Carolina likes to bunch block. It's an easy defensive move for her.
Mike Shull told us, he said, listen, our tactics and thoughts have needed attention as ACC play hits midway. We were working with our sports psych about how do we respond when we get punched. So we preach competitive maturity. We've seen this team respond time and again here, even though they're down 2-0.
Yeah.
Miscommunication there will give that point over the other side.
Santa Casa, they're 8 in blue. Just a freshman, played in very limited sets for Carolina. Bobbitt is out. She's been pulled into competitive action. We haven't really mentioned that. She's done a phenomenal job over the last several matches. But some new players beside each other on the floor can create that.
Ollie Wilson at the serve again. Regular roll for her. There's a line shot. Asking who shall receive from the 2-2.
Yeah, and in practice, realize that the pins Carolina has, she's not swinging against a small blocker very often in her own gym. So when Setter is in the front row against Sophie Hampton, she's smiling about that opportunity.
Remember, same position these Carolina Tar Heels were in on Friday night. They were beaten soundly in the first 2 sets. They responded with a victory, and they respond here with another point. Lainey Smith reaches over and shuts it down. Carolina back on top. One-ranked victory for Carolina this year. They beat Florida, number 11 at the time, 3-0 back in early September. This is the beginning of the final test for Carolina. Scramble play, ball back under control. Pierce cannot get high hands. Coverage play is pushed wide. And the crowd can feel it. 9-7.
Carolina creeping up on something. It's hard to win long rallies against Louisville because of their defense, and Carolina's starting to do that. We get an early sub. Hannah Kinney is still in the back row. Typically, Blackshear comes into the match for her across the front row, but the early sub is to create some back row offense here for Louisville. It's something they've talked about doing, but they said right now they just can't afford to give up the defense of Kinney. It's so good, and statistically they win with that suffocating defense.
Statistically, they've been winning on the right side. There's another one.
Smith and Thorpe now combine for 8 kills on the match. And this is a tactic that Louisville is used to seeing. When teams are in system, they're going to go after the small left side blocker, and Carolina trying to execute that.
Largest lead of the match for Carolina. They've been on the defensive. Here they are coming back on the offensive. Going to the pin. Pierce got the hands. It looked to me like she got them. Will we see a challenge? We will not.
So the early sub for Louisville, they use a back row attempt from Blackshear. It doesn't go for a kill, but a little different offensive look, and now she's rotated to the front row.
Mayo from the left side. Middle back, leaning in, and missing was Sophie Hampton, but that was open.
Yeah, you see Hannah Sherman, the only one at home in the middle. So she's going to be asked to defend the middle attack, which right now for UNC Shutter, they don't use Shutter much. She has her eye on that back row attack of Sophie Hampton, and that is Hannah Sherman's ball to try and deflect.
Pausa, first to deal with that one. And the chip off the cable is good again. Louisville has that cable measured. Did they come in and do a little strength test there?
I think they had a practice on that today.
10-10. Back to even. Bad pass, Carolina on the scramble again. Better composition this time, Pierce. Blackshear with another blast, high through the defense.
See her ability to go up high, off, over those hands, and at angles that you're not defending day to day in your own gym for some of these teams.
There's a fine attack, Lainey Smith. Coming back from Illinois to her home in North Carolina, the Durham native.
And 23 in this particular rotation, Lainey Smith of UNC paired up with Chloe Chacoin on the left side for Louisville.
French fries on the board here in the third. Another high two. They are not afraid to just throw it up there and let the 6'5" Kalyssa Blackshear feast on it.
Yeah, because of her history as a middle blocker, very comfortable, very confident going down the middle of the court. It's a play they've gone to throughout the entire year.
Freshman of the Week honors for her earlier in October. 20 kills, 6 blocks versus Virginia Tech. Serve and notice. No defense to be had there. The opposites are trading some kills, and they'll trade opposites now on the UNC side.
Splitting the defense, that perfect placement between Chacoin and Blackshear, just miscommunication as both players really had the ability to make a play on that ball.
Thorpe versus Peterson once again. Instead, it's into the middle. Here's that matchup. The block wins again. Taylor will collect the points.
Taylor is number 2 in the ACC with 1.43 blocks per set. That's good for number 16 in the entire nation.
North Carolina really trying to apply the pressure here, and Blackshear is trying to be that release valve.
She has a really unique arm swing. Her arm is low, and then kind of a roundhouse sort of swing. It just looks different than what you're used to defending.
Blackshear is in double figures. That ball gets inside of her. See if they go back to her. She has 11 already. Doing the primary offensive damage. She was up in all the balance they had earlier. It's been a lot of Blackshear here in the third.
Yeah, that's a Thorpe kill for North Carolina. But boy, credit Haley Pierce, because the passing has certainly settled in here as the match has gone on, and Haley Pierce has been targeted quite a few times.
Quick into the middle. Cressy with the kill off of Thorpe. A lot of help from the North Carolina block.
Again, 2 blockers up against that middle attack of Cressy as we see them bunch in the middle, but Cabello still going to it with speed, and that plays to Cressy's favor.
We're headed to the technical timeout next off this Hannah Kinney serve. Way off the net. Peterson tips. Has to go to Thorpe. She's able to just keep it alive. Both sides managing swings. Thorpe, better run at it. That ball might have been outside the antenna. Yes, it was. Thorpe will have her 6th kill, and we will have a technical timeout. Carolina leads 15-14.
Remember trying to do this with psoriasis?
Sounds like my joints when my psoriatic arthritis was bad.
Mom, what they really mean?
They just didn't know what psoriasis is. I've been clear for years. Don't worry, baby.
Cosentyx treats both plaque psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis and helps stop further joint damage. Don't use if allergic to Cosentyx. Get checked for TB before starting. Increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like TB or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Let me get you a cold one. Try one of these. That is the best buffalo wing in the county.
You eat buffalo?
No, it's just chicken. It was invented in Buffalo, the city.
So it's not buffalo?
You all right, man?
It's quite spicy.
Drink the beer.
Today.
Tuesday night marks the 3rd annual Frozen Frenzy. All 32 teams take the ice in the NHL. We'll have a triple header on ESPN, starting with Penguins and Flyers at 6 Eastern. The whip-around coverage of every game, think Red Zone of the NHL, also starts at 6 on ESPN Plus and ESPN2. It all begins at the Point at 4. I'm going to tune in just to see Gritty myself. See what he has planned here for the Open. Talked about the schedule for Carolina and how it gets real right now. SMU, Pitt, Stanford. I'm going to throw Cal in there, who beat Miami, who pushed 5 with Pitt by the associative property of volleyball.
And they still have Miami floating out there a few times in their future.
Right.
So there is so much RPI opportunity for this North Carolina team. This is a stretch that will define them, but boy, is it a luxury to play in a conference where this late in the season, you still have opportunities to make a mark, to go out there and earn your spot in the NCAA tournament, and they still have opportunity to earn a top 16 spot in the NCAA tournament.
So there was a lot of competition. Middle blocker was for the other spot. Taylor was in that spot. She serves here as Carolina tries to stay alive, and they're looking a little bit more full of life with that one, 16-14.
And again, that time, Kevin, you mentioned earlier you liked the tighter slide right behind the setter. They run that again, and Cressy goes past it just a bit. So she runs by it a bit. The ball's inside. And that is a play that had always been money in the bank for them, that slide play, and teams have defended it very well this year. And Coach Meskey said, when that's happening, we've got to give Cabello some other options to get Cressy going. As a young setter, sometimes you go away from a player if they get blocked early, and they can't afford to do that. Kara Cressy is a player who can take over a match with her offense, and so they have to find ways when the slide is off, what can we go to create that confidence in their setter-hitter combination.
Elise Cabello called her own number there with much success. That's been perhaps the best attack all afternoon. Looking for hands and getting them just barely.
I really appreciate the way that Peyton Peterson defends middle back. There are so many players who the block does a good job getting the deflection, and their first step defending is into the court, and they're not able to play that high ball off the block. And Peyton Peterson does such a good job staying deep. And when that ball is high off the block, she makes a good first step defensively.
There's an angle off the block. She was getting dug time and again into that angle.
Yep.
What adjustment she make there?
She goes sharp angle that time, inside the block, more into our left front here, right in front of us. So just that thumb down swing to find some court, because deeper into left back, Louisville has dug that ball quite well.
Percentage way off for Hampton this year. She comes in hitting .295. Here, a test of toughness. Second contact, keeps it up. Louisville, all cylinders. Second time, backslide, Cressy. Got it, the All-American.
Swinging deep into that right back corner, just over the block, and another player doing a good job defending middle back, Bollinger for UNC early in that rally, keeping things alive. But Carolina doing a really nice job against Chicoine, who's taken 33 swings, more than anyone else for the Cardinals, and only 7 kills to show for it.
Well, we mentioned both these teams were best at limiting their opponent's hitting percentage. That's proven true in this match. 165 for Louisville, under 100 for North Carolina.
Yeah. Both these teams defend so well. And interesting, both coaches used the same word. We talked to them this week, suffocating defense. That was the description that came from both head coaches.
Maybe the equivalent of a pitcher's stool in baseball, although way more entertaining than 0-0. Line to line. Another attempt on the outside for Chicoine, who is turned back. Once, how about twice? Nope, she'll be dug instead. That ball's still alive. Kicked and no good. Another big point for North Carolina. Everyone is huge as they are down 2-0.
And when we talk about tough rotations, realize you have to know who's in the front row. Right now, setter in the front row for Louisville, Chloe Chicoine, and then Sherman, who up until this year had not been considered much of an offensive threat, but that hasn't been the case today. I think with a good pass, they got to find Sherman here.
Hampton line to line once again. Chicoine through the block and down. Late arrival for Shutter.
Yeah, and late because of the good pass. So the option to go to Sherman was there. They don't, but just the option is enough. It holds the blocker long enough to give Chicoine some room to work.
That's about that defensive prowess. 19 digs. That's your outside hitter with that many digs.
Yeah.
Creating opportunities. Good pass. A little bit too far. High inside. Chicoine. Big windup. Got it.
Chicoine does such a nice job there. The ball, as you mentioned, is inside, but she high points it. She goes and gets it. She's the aggressor there.
We've had only the technical timeout in this third set, now tied at 19. UNC is going to use their first of 2. Do you like this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I actually do. I feel like this is the first time North Carolina has had the edge here in this third set. They've been the leader, and I think they want to stop Louisville right now. They don't want to all of a sudden feel like they're the ones fighting from behind. They've been the aggressor here.
They have been the aggressor, and again, it comes behind the right arm of Chelsea Thorpe, number 77, who's had some impact plays. And Chloe Chicoine knows about impact.
Yes, isn't that the truth? She has been so good on that right side with her ability to see the court and to use shots because she has power. There's a hole in the block, and she can blast it. She's great with her footwork to hit balls down the line, but she also uses her shots, and she plays well on the defensive side of the ball. You see her in that bunch block situation. She's always helping defend in the middle of the court, whether it's the middle attacker or the attack coming out of the back row, and then she releases to that line and defends there as well. She's got 4 blocks at this point in the match, 6 kills. Now they have held her to the 167, which we said is certainly a theme in this match, holding some of the better attackers to lower efficiencies because of the defense that we're seeing.
We're holding down ESPN right now, and volleyball will do the same next week. Next Sunday, ESPN. Number 3, Kentucky versus number 2, Texas. That's 1 Eastern. And stick around at 3. Number 9, Texas A&M versus number 16, Tennessee. Whole lot of future talent will be on display when you start thinking about national teams, Olympic Games, pro leagues. From Athletes Unlimited to Major League Volleyball to League One Volleyball, there's never been more opportunity for these women to become professional volleyball players after their collegiate careers. 19 apiece. Do we continue to a fourth, or does Louisville continue the revenge tour for this weekend? Haley Pierce with the kill, a timely one from the player who's been in and out, and her coach says, we believe in her, and she feels that.
Yeah, you can tell. She's playing with a lot of confidence, even after not playing much on Friday night. She's been inserted back into this lineup, and she's been a difference maker.
Now, Mike Shaw says she finds any way she can to fill that stat sheet. Here, they'll fill it in the block with Lainey Smith. Back-to-back big plays out of the TR.
Here's that high ball down the middle behind the setter, but this is where the bunch blocking pays off. 3 blockers waiting on that high ball down the middle.
We're about to have a slow red zone creep here as both teams carried their full complement of timeouts to the 20-point mark or the 19-point mark, so Louisville calls their first. You probably like this one too.
I do.
Absolutely.
Don't let it get out of striking distance. See if you can stop the momentum in its tracks.
For Louisville this year, they've had a lot of ranked play. 6 matches versus ranked teams. They're 2-4. Good win over number 18 Creighton, a very strong team, 3-1. That was in Omaha, and defeated number 4 Stanford in Palo Alto. So they've had some success on the road in those ranked matchups.
Yeah, look at those defeats there, losing to 2 Texas, 6 Kentucky, 8 SMU, 6 Pitt. All of those are 5-set losses. All of those, they were up 2-1. So Coach said there is a little different feel losing a match that you felt like you probably should have won. But he said it creates, you know, maybe a very positive frustration in our gym that can equal a good week's practice. You know, go back to the drawing board because they want it and they want to make the changes.
4 match points against Texas. Opportunity to close out when Texas just keeps surviving and remaining undefeated. All this part of the story, the rise of the ACC becoming the powerhouse conference in women's volleyball behind the Big Ten. And that was underway before the Pac-12 suffered complete collapse. Talk about that 2021 series, well, 2022. Pitt and Louisville met in that national semifinal round, cards 3-2, emphatically in the 5th, but what up to that point had been an unbelievable match.
Yeah. And this is a Louisville team with a whole bunch of new pieces, and yet they're getting the same results. In those matches against SMU, Pitt, and Texas, those 3 in particular, they lost by a combined total of 15 points.
Wow, tough one here. See if they lose this set. No, it's a dig from Peterson again, filling that stat sheet. Chicoine chips it for the winner. That is an unconventional kill.
She's got all the shots.
Oh, yes.
So much game for Chicoine. The problem has been finding a high kill rate tonight because of Louisville's block and defense against her.
Chicoine, no aces yet. But 10 kills. Can she put one on the board here from the service line? Pierce, great pass. Better block. Pierce with the save. Go to the opposite. Crowd willing it to be so. Looking for a play. Here's the opportunity. Taylor, still alive. Pierce passes it tight. Shoots it low. The amount of off plays in this rally. Pierce with some courage and a cut.
Kevin, there was actually minimal celebration from Pierce, but only because she was too tired. She said, let's go, but it was the quietest let's go I've ever seen, and she gave it everything. That was a beautiful rally.
Well, a sad sight to see after such an incredible rally. A green card. Challenge from the Louisville side. So we will wait for our referee crew. Fill us in here.
Louisville is challenging that a North Carolina player contacted the ball twice.
Missy, you were right on it.
Yeah, 4 contacts is actually what they're challenging. Not a touch on the last play out of bounds, but I think on the block of Hannah Sherman in the middle, when it came back at the Carolina player, they thought the same player touched it twice, which would then be 4. Well, obviously, you can't touch it twice in a row. So it's twice in a row, and it became 4 contacts because of that. Either of those would be a violation.
It would be the funny call you see in football, illegal touching.
Exactly.
Always
illegal
the funniest announcement.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking for here.
Our officiating crew here, Scott Lowry into the booth once again, looking for that scenario. As our crew looks too, and you can check it out.
Right there, that is exactly what they're looking at. A great find by our crew. They felt like Jackie Taylor hit that ball twice.
Gosh, I wonder how this plays in. Talked to head referee for many years, Joan Powell, about a single move where you're trying to bend your body back and fling the ball off of you.
Yeah,
do you feel like that looks like 2 touches?
I thought it looked like a shoulder, which is legal if it had been shoulder, but I thought it looked like a shoulder, then arm. I thought it perhaps looked like 2.
Maybe this is why they let the coaches roam the sidelines, to get so close so they can watch all these little plays. Dan Meskey could be the challenge of the day here.
Yeah, no kidding.
What say you?
After review, the call is confirmed. Louisville loses their challenge.
Call confirmed. Louisville loses the challenge, and this incredible end remains.
Let's see, another look. Is that 1 and then 2 with her arm? It's questionable. Call stands. Or actually, they said confirmed. So no, the call did not stand. Call was confirmed. So they believe there was evidence that it was one contact on the part of Jackie Taylor.
Carolina with an opportunity here in the 3rd set. They're playing for their set lives. Every side out remains huge. Where do you go here? You have Thorpe on the left. Taylor in the middle, Pierce on the right.
I like Thorpe late in the set.
All right.
Pass isn't there. They'll find her anyway.
She's looking for that deep corner and just run down. Schran. Tight to the net. Cabello feeds the middle. Better dig on the other side. Thorpe takes a cut. 2 heavyweight fighters. Trading punches. Who lands the knockout blow? Not hitting that ball up inside. There might have been a chance. Instead, it's the block. Pierce all by herself.
This is fun. What good rallies we've had here in set 3. This is what we expected.
Timeout called by Louisville. That'll be their 2nd. That is it.
By the way, Chloe Chacoin, 22 digs in left back for Louisville.
Mike Shaw told us Haley Pierce loves film and the technical part of the game. Mentioned that we believe in her and she feels that. Finding ways to contribute. There is no bigger contribution in this match from her in any single play besides that last one.
And that side from the right pin. So they have pins that they use interchangeably. We typically see her on the left side, but she gets stuck on the right side there and just puts up a wall.
They have been grinding on the North Carolina side to get back in some offensive rhythm here.
It doesn't come easy against the defense of Louisville, and they force you to play long rallies, and a lot of teams can't meet them in those long rallies. They can't defend out of the back court the way that Louisville does, but North Carolina with the play of Maddie May, 20 digs for Maddie May out of the back court. Bollinger has been big for them out of the back court as well. Sophie Hampton has 10 double-digit digs for her. Sienna Kaza with 9. They are matching Louisville's defensive effort in the back court, especially here in this 3rd set.
130 digs in the match. We are only in a 3rd set.
Really good stuff.
Chacoin's 22 is a season high. Coaches love to learn about their team. How do you behave when you're pressed? Mike Shaw has to love what he's seeing right now from his side as he sends number 6, Julia Bollinger, into serve to try and close this third set. Deep dish to the center, high in the middle. They are running some Blackshear over and over again. She has 13.
And over the top she goes, over and over again, because realize one of the fundamental differences if you take a deep dive is that you're going to see one blocker defending the middle of the court for Louisville, 2 blockers are going to be defending the middle of the court for North Carolina, and Blackshear still coming up big.
3 defensive gems in the back row for Louisville. Can they manufacture a point? Thorpe. Off the block, into the antenna, point Carolina. Set point for UNC, much to the delight of this crowd.
Thorpe does really nice job with her footwork, getting to that ball on her right side to give her the option to tool the block there. I really love that.
For the set, fans on their feet. Outside, Peterson tips it, Thorpe throws it down. Same matchup, same result. Here comes the offense. Do you find 77? No! She finds herself. Who will put their hitters in the best situation? Because you're going to need maximum attack to defeat either of these defenses. Here at North Carolina this afternoon. Good soft touch. May sticking the platform out there. Going to Taylor quickly in transition. Chicoine blocked. Thorpe forced to push it. And that ball is going to find no hands. No, it will find some hands. According to the referees, we might have a challenge here as everyone waves their digits in the air and says, I didn't do it.
And Kevin, that's one of those rotations where they just continue to send the ball to the left side to Chicoine when they're out of system, and they're forcing Blackshear to have to come over and pick up tips. I think the next step for her is in rotations like that, even when she's forced to pick up tips, can she become an offensive weapon? Can she be available down the middle after picking up a tip, or, you know, creating some offense?
North Carolina is challenging. There was not a block touch on the play.
So a touch called on that middle attack against Carolina. It would be Louisville ball. We will see upon review. Missy, give me your view here.
All right, let's see it. Hannah Sherman right down the middle. Let's look at the ball. Is there a change in the rotation of the ball?
Now, the replay system here in this arena is a self-built system, my understanding, and it's incredible.
Interesting.
Yeah, they really like it, all 4K. This might be our best look.
Yeah, notice the bunch blocking. Again, 2 blockers up.
You know what the crowd thinks. They're looking at the same thing you are at home.
I'm looking at that left-handed Taylor.
Did you gasp and throw a water bottle across the room, Carolina fan? What did you do at your house? Remember, touch called. While we wait here, in transition, you and I have had a discussion about setting the ball higher.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be something either team could do here rather than trying to speed it all the time with all these off plays?
Yeah, I think if out of system, I think you have to give them a look. In system, particularly Louisville,
right,
for Chicoine and for at
on
times Peyton Peterson, I mean, they have to go with speed to try to beat the block. The North Carolina block is just deflecting. So they have to go with some speed in system. But I think out of system, you negate the success of the speed is negated with errors sometimes when they try to go too fast. And so I think it's a balance.
And does that matter even more? I think when you have Kalyssa Blackshear out there attacking, when you have Chelsea Thorpe over there attacking, players that have high, powerful swings.
Absolutely. With Blackshear and Thorpe, I do not like. You can still go fast tempo at a higher angle from the setter.
A little loop then.
Yeah, give them a loop up there. Let them high point that ball. Why would you not want Blackshear going over the top of the block?
Yeah.
You know, that makes no sense. And I even think for Sophie Hampton, when she gets blocked, sometimes the set's too low.
Yeah.
I think she can go high. And sometimes the tempo of the set negates her ability to go high over the block.
Well, it's the in vogue system across women's volleyball. Everybody wanting to set fast. We set fast. We like to put pressure on people fast. Well, how would you like to put pressure on people by setting the ball where your hitter can be at maximum capability? That might also be a good idea when the ball is dug 20 feet high and 10 feet off.
Absolutely.
That's been a trickle down from the highest levels of USA volleyball and volleyball in this country. Of course, the incredible run of the national team. As our review continues here with Scott Lowry, he is taking a look at a particular angle, and he is really getting all the look at it here. Now you're getting a clear view at home. Put yourself in the booth.
After review, the call will be reversed. The point will be awarded to North Carolina. They retain their challenge.
We don't know what Scott Lowry said afterwards, but we don't care because the fans in here confirmed it for you.
Yep.
North Carolina ball.
And don't you think, to see a challenge used at .1 in the set, how important the hot start is to both of these teams?
Oh, he's going to keep his challenge. He'll still have it. There's that X2 play, which is working despite the response to the block. Great to see what they are growing here at North Carolina inside Carmichael Arena. You might remember this arena from such highlights as Michael Jordan putting the ball in at the buzzer. James Worthy rocking the ball to sleep. And Louisville putting an ace on the home side. You don't remember that one. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a great serve by Chloe Chacoin. I mean, that one going 1-to-1, serving cross court, and that ball just dropped.
Ace number 1 for Chacoin. North Carolina still without an ace. Most of those aces came early, though, for Louisville. Nice hit out by Pierce.
And that's Zoe Barrett in at setter right now for North Carolina in their 6-2 system. And it takes a perfect set over there. She goes short side, so they serve that side of the net, but she goes short side and hangs it up there for Pierce. Zoe is a junior for Carolina, brings a little more experience to the floor.
Sophie Hampton back to the front row. Can they find her? Thorpe finds the block. Well, that worked out, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
A convenient set to Blackshear. Roll shot. Picked up twice. The tips and rolls just don't go down. Drink some courage. Put it in your right shoulder and win the point.
No shortage of courage when it comes to Chelsea Thorpe.
Absolutely.
She is swinging. And realize, in their 6-2 system, she is always on the floor. The defense, again, we said 130 digs coming into this set. Expect that number to rise with the way these two teams are playing. But realize Thorpe is always on the court with Barrett. Those two set in and out of the match together, and they have a great relationship, setter to hitter.
Tough serve from Pierce. That was a laser. Oh, you got to convert this one. Don't you think it has to be 77?
I hope.
There's your star. Get your star going here in the fourth.
And this is the strength of Carolina. Here, you and I are sitting here trying to guess what pin are they going to go to. That's who they are at their best. That's exactly where the Louisville blockers are trying to do now as well.
Kill leaders, 9, 8, 8, 8.
That's it. That's Carolina.
Another tough serve, 2 in a row. Pierce did not start the match. She is factoring right now. There's the opposite. Thorpe with a blast. They just like to provide this crowd with maximum volleyball entertainment.
Want them to get the most for their money. And here we see Zoe Barrett that time going behind after the set out to Hampton previously. Now the net all of a sudden feels really big if you're a Louisville blocker trying to cover that ground.
10th kill. Oh, a miss by Pierce, but excellent work done by 33. They have not missed many serves.
You know, there's battles within the match, and remember just a bit ago, Chloe Chacoin aced Pierce as she was passing in right back. Then she goes back to serve, and she got an ace right back at Chacoin. Don't think that there's not some games happening within the big match here.
Oh, there is. Definitely there is. Camden Tran serves Pierce, who shrugs that one off, and Taylor destroys the ball. Bringing the bench nearly onto the floor.
Coach said she has just become so much more efficient lately. They have run that play very similar and brought her in front of the setter several times in this match, that time behind, and it creates absolute open net.
Diving grab. Not a second time. Boy, I thought Taylor might go short with that serve. She's had Good success with that earlier in the match. A lot of open space in the service-receive donut.
Coach said Jackie Taylor is such a different player this year because of her work and the volume of experience she now has, and we are seeing it.
Barrett outside. She'll get a second shot here. And that'll be blasted through. What if? What if Sophie Hampton gets going?
You don't want it. You don't want any part of that if you're a Louisville. Offense is starting to look more difficult for Louisville and starting to look easier for Carolina. So much of that is about that first contact.
And maybe some crowd energy here.
Oh, yes.
The undefeated Tar Heels, 9-0 in ACC play. Trying to go 5 for the second time on the weekend. Another chance to score. Rotated the opposite, same result. Lainey Smith, welcome back to the match.
It's more good serving from North Carolina, zone 1 to zone 1, creating predictable offense that North Carolina defends. And then North Carolina taking a page out of, say, Pitt or some other playbooks and attacking from that right side, going after those left side blockers. We see a change now. Peterson out, Utter back in.
Largest lead of the match for Carolina. Gets bigger there, 5 points now.
Lauren Shutter, that's her job, right? That's her job. The Pins attack, Lauren Shutter defends, and they're all chipping in.
Louisville feeling the pressure. Timeout.
I shop for a lot of the same things. That's why I like Pays, the online checkout from the same banks and credit unions I already use. Same cards, ready to go right here. Same confidence, because my actual card numbers stay hidden from the store. So it's easy to be the same great me, because Pays is built for how I shop.
You mean for how we shop?
As long as it's on sale.
Dad.
Pays, online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Be ready. Wherever the season takes you, Marriott Bonvoy has a hotel brand for every kind of fan. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
The one-of-a-kind joy of Kellogg's cereal and ice-cold milk.
Our next All Access, the ACC Live premieres Thursday night, featuring NC State's women's soccer defender Brooklyn Holt, North Carolina volleyball outside hitter Chelsea Thorpe, where you're watching star here, and SMU men's soccer goalkeeper Martin Dominguez. You get unprecedented access into the lives of student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans. 10 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. For these youngsters, maybe they can learn about the life they might lead should they star in the ACC one day. Kevin Barnett alongside Missy Whittemore enjoying this one as it picks up. Ooh, a couple of service errors now in successive turns. The fourth for North Carolina. You feel like maybe you should just keep the ball in a little bit.
Well, those errors have come after a run of points, though, and scoring a string of points against Louisville is not an easy thing. I think the pressure is important. They have a lot of success right now going to that deep one zone.
Ava Otterback looking for success for the line, goes to that jump serve. She's that super sub who plays defense at the same level as the rest. That is out of bounds.
And Kevin, to your point about the super sub, Utterback, she's the one player on the team who also has the green light from the service line, so expect her to be aggressive here.
Came in, played an outside hitter in that match against Duke out of Plainfield, Indiana. Jump serve again. To the line for an ace. Putting the super in the sub.
Yeah, and that's a great mix of aggression and smart play, because that's not the biggest rip from the service line, but talk about perfect placement.
7-0 in the ace category. Coaches always talk about needing to win that one. Carolina losing some momentum. 9-8. Shaw remains in his coach's stance.
And this big serve from Utterback is pulling the setter off the net, creating some predictable offense now, making Louisville's defense a little easier.
3-0 run. Ball is long. Off the hook they go. So now Utterback will remain with that passing, first ball contact, defensive capability. She will stay. Typically a serving sub does not stay in that role. They come in, serve tough, go out, put another player in. So she is in the receive in the right back. And will get the ball. Good pass. Back slide, and that will find the antenna. North Carolina.
And that time, Cabello, her back to the right side, and she just sets that one too tight. As you come off the net as a setter, you still want to set that slide somewhat parallel to the net to give your attacker some room.
This serve has to be in. Go like underhand Aunt Kathy style at the picnic. Put some pressure on Louisville. And watch them respond with an All-American middle attacker, Kara Cressy.
And that one feels big, Kevin, not because of just the kill on the side out, but that I feel like Cabello and Cressy really need to find a rhythm, and that's going to create some confidence that could come in big here at the end of this set.
Louisville leads 2-1. 25-10, 25-23 were the scores. As Molly Urban checks in to serve and play more defense. Block just out of bounds. It was a third set thriller, 25-22. UNC defends their home floor and forces this fourth set. I'm Kevin Barnett. She is Missy Whittemore. You are the volleyball fan being treated here on a Sunday. Maddie May, two-time All-Academic ACC, 7th in digs in the conference right now. Serving, playing D, behind the block. That finds another point. Pierce with another big stuff.
Here's that player who's spent a lot of time on the right side where you're asked to be a big blocker against the team's best attacker often. And you see that she's a very natural blocker with the drop of that left hand, making it look easy for blacks now.
Ooh, a blast. There's Chacoin.
And it feels like Chacoin just has had not any opportunities with just any space in the block. Finally, some seam, the middle blocker just a moment late, and that's all it takes for Chacoin.
I don't even know if she saw it. I felt like that one, she just took a huge whack at it. Taylor just squats down, perfect pass. Coverage, no. The block did some good work there on Lainey Smith.
See this set a little inside here. Lainey Smith really only has angle to go, and so Hannah Sherman is the one that's all over that.
Sherman, 7th block. Dig behind her this time. Chacoin, big windup. Other side. Blackshear trying to push it. Manages to stay out of the net. Blackshear, bad set, and swing out of bounds. 14-11.
And credit North Carolina in that long rally. They don't air her out. You know, Pierce that time, not the big swing, but she continues the rally. Right now, they are trusting their defense, and for good reason.
Barrett will serve. Thorpe back in. Backline serve, pushed way far forward. Opportunity, go to the opposite. Yes. Big cut, gotta have the cover. No. Unfortunate break for the women in blue.
And a near coverage deep in the court there by Sophie Hampton. Something both of these teams, I will again say, have done so well is playing balls deep over their head. They're both good about that first step to the ball.
Thorpe on the left. She's the only attacker in double figures. For a very diverse North Carolina attack. Blocked by Blackshear, one-on-one, opposite on opposite.
That time Thorpe from the left side in this particular serve-receive pattern. And you can see she's right away just moving her finger onto the next, she says, onto the next.
Do you go to her again, Senator Missy Whittemore?
You know, I think I might here. And they're going to go short side. No,
Taylor.
Middle.
Little bit low and misses, so we are tied. Already already a timeout, so no technical in this fourth set. Timeout was called by Louisville at 9-4, North Carolina. No preemptive use here by Mike Shaw. He has two. May, good pass. Delivery right side to Pierce. They've tried all the hitters across the front row. Maybe they get it done with the block. Pierce off the edge. That's a winner. Working off of Utterback.
Louisville making the change to Utterback, and it's still a very similar left side. She fits that mold of a Louisville defense first left side. It creates a little smaller block, but again, credit the North Carolina set in this particular rotation, Barrett, for getting the ball to that right pin. It's giving that right side attacker line time and time again, putting it right in the window.
Utterback 5'10", keep an eye on Thorpe in front of her right now in transition for Carolina. Here comes that opportunity. That was a line swing. Blackshear is out. Utterback off the hands. May, a little confusion as to who was passing. Another deep block. You love to see those if you're the blocker.
Yeah.
Back where no one is.
Hannah Sherman is working, and she is in double-digit blocks. Are you kidding me? 11 already today.
I can't get behind the double-double generally in women's volleyball, but if Hannah Sherman goes double figure kills and blocks, absolutely.
I'm behind that, 100%.
Put that one in the notes. Sophie, no. Thorpe, right side. Yes! Got it.
The matchup is there, and yet you have to execute, right? There has to be a good first contact. The setter has to hang it in that window that gives them the ability to swing line. Thorpe has to work really hard off the net in transition to get the right approach line, and they're doing it. They're executing it time and time again.
Time to score some points. Taylor at the line. Dropping it a little bit in the middle. Almost an ace. Has to be Thorpe. No, it's in the middle. Blackshear. Utterback v. Thorpe. Winner number 1 in white.
Maybe we should just go ahead and have the game completely played on that side of the net. We'll just let Utterback and Thorpe go at it. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes setters, I think too much. You got a hot hitter, you got a good matchup. It's your best hitter. Just set the opposite. Yes, everyone knows you want to go there. Yes, it will probably work. She just got to kill. Don't try and use the middle. Bad pass. Can they get something out of it? No. Louisville, Cressy is up there. Backslide coming. Utterback instead outside, wins it. Louisville back on top.
And Utterback looks like she's early on this approach. She hits that ball on her way down, and quite honestly, it probably works to her advantage. The block jumps with her, and so she has less of an issue there against the block.
Tough serve. This one finds Thorpe, who has to tip. First lead of the set for Louisville. That is out. Justly so, because even with the expanded rules, that second contact. No, wave that one off.
Yeah, that should not be okay in the sport of volleyball.
Still
I don't know how I feel about that. And because of the unique system of so many good defensive players on the floor for Louisville, it can be a different player stepping in on second contact. For most teams, it's always going to be the libero stepping in when the setter makes first contact, and that's not always the case for Louisville.
Freshman setter on. Kaza in the back row. Big block at the net, because guess who's in the front row? Lainey Smith.
Wow. Talk about hand placement, low and over. I mean, nowhere for that ball to go. When it gets to the floor that quick, you know you've done a good job getting your hands over the net, low and early.
Welcome to the Smith Telecom Company. You're in a phone booth. Cressy. I mean, where do you look? If you're in trouble, you're playing a younger roster. You've been incredible the last few years. Yeah, good idea to go to your redshirt senior middle blocker to get to 18. Remember, we got to 19 all in that third set. We had 4 timeouts that were possible. We have 3 here as we get close to the red zone.
Okay.
On her back.
Change in serve receive. They send Hampton to the right side of the court, and they set her.
And she misses.
I like the idea because the matchup on that side is favoring North Carolina, but you have to factor in, is Safi comfortable swinging from the right side?
19-18, Louisville with the advantage, and Utterback at the line, who put 1 point on the board, then an ace last time before missing.
Yeah, I like this quick timeout, not only because Louisville takes the 1-point lead, but because you want to ice this particular server, a jump server back there.
These are 1 and 2 in the ACC in terms of blocking, and it has shown up today in a mighty way. 15 for each of the duos, just the middle blockers.
17.5 blocks on the day for North Carolina, 16 for Louisville, and it's actually North Carolina second in the league, and Louisville leading the lead in blocks. Right. So North Carolina, it has the upper hand on the leader right now.
Well, and then 17.5 is a season high for the Tar Heels. They're going to need a little bit more here if they're going to close.
Look at these opponent hitting efficiencies. North Carolina being held to 111, Louisville held to 136. And you would look at those numbers and think, oh, not a good volleyball match. Not the case. This is a defensive battle.
It can still be fun, even though in this set, Louisville's hitting 0-29, North Carolina 0-65. Who picks up the offense?
But Louisville 6 blocks in this particular set. You know, so, hey, when you see North Carolina with 8 errors, 6 of those have been elite blocks on the other side of the net to slow them down.
Carolina, again, backs against the wall, trying to stay alive in the match. The lead belongs to Louisville, 2-1. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Kevin Barnett and Missy Whittemore enjoying a different kind of thrilling volleyball match. Utterback stands herself up, has to chip it. Outside, the star, the stud, the 2-2 comes through.
And I really like the fact that they went back to their original serve-receive pattern. Safi on the left side where she's comfortable. You know, because the setter's out here as well. You don't just have a good matchup on the right pin. Let Safi do her thing.
Hampton to serve. Louisville off the net. Chicoine cares not. May underneath that block. Perfect dig. Right back. Chicoine again. Will she test the inside? No, chip in high hands. Pierce way off. Chips it for a winner. Carolina back on top.
Pierce inside the block.
Louisville just 1 timeout remaining. How about May hanging out inside the block, taking that clean Chicoine swing.
And I believe the North Carolina bench being warned to stay back a little. Maybe getting too excited in their celebration. I like it.
We'll get into why the referees are killing the vibe later.
Right.
In so many ways. Knock it off. Oh, almost. Chicoine with another heater on that little rip.
You know, Coach Meskey said to us, I want it so bad for Chicoine because she wants it so bad. And you can see it in the way she competes deep into these sets. She wants the ball.
Front row. Pierce. Smith. And Shutter. They go double quick. And it works. What do you think about that former volleyball quarterback, Missy?
My initial comment was maybe overthinking it. I'm not sure that would be my first choice, but you know what? It works.
They put 21 on the board. And the libero to the line. May to serve. Short.
No offense.
The opportunity they needed. Chicoine. Into the block. Block deep. Quick in the middle. Picked up by the Carolina defense. Pierce. Better opportunity. All 3 hitters in transition. Late arrival. Got it.
Sophie get to that ball? Set well in front of the 3-meter line. She literally comes flying out of the backcourt.
You said she had springs.
Yes.
Some potential energy released on this one. PE going for the K.
She was coming from deep in middle back, and she had to cover some ground, but she's the first one to go right to her setter.
How about this angle?
So the ball is actually not set that far in front of the 3-meter line, but well out in front of Sophie. She's running a true bick down the middle of the court. That ball is set more to the left side. She has to adjust her footwork mid-approach, contort her body in the air. Are you kidding me? What an athletic move.
To your point about the timing, watch the position of this set. It's fine.
Yeah.
At about 9 feet is about right.
Yeah,
the problem
is
she is so late to this ball. That's the right set. Right there's good, but she is so late.
I think she's expecting it more right down the center of the court. And so then to make the adjustment toward left front, I mean, just her athleticism on absolute full display. What a fun player to watch.
I love it when there's French fries on the board. It's 11-11 in any set, right? Well, it's French fries on the stat board right now. Hampton 11, Pierce 11, Thorpe 11, 10 for Smith. Look at her stretch out here.
And it's really good placement on the set because it allows them to split the block. You know Hannah Sherman is going to be waiting down the middle, so I like the set a little out in front of the middle blocker. It created a seam for Hampton. It looked like it had trouble written all over it, and had it been set to any other player in the gym, it did have trouble written all over it. Only Sophie Hampton pulls that off.
The moment is now. Maddie May at the line. Gotta be in, a lot of space in the middle still. Chicoine, pass, swing, turned, where do you go? Big swing on the right side, Lainey Smith. Opposite power on display.
And have we mentioned that Carolina has 4 pins? Because there for a while it was Thorpe, it was Thorpe, it was Thorpe. Guess what? Smith now is the one with the impact.
4 players with 11 kills each on the Carolina side. I don't know that I've seen that. 23-20. Same deep corner. Trouble again. Go right back. Pierce. Stop.
They've continued to go short side a good bit, but the setters today, when they're pulled into left front, they tend to go left. We've not seen a lot of long string sets setting against the flow when you're pulled into one side of the court.
Pierce got the platform out. Taylor got a hand on it. Blackshear over the top and down. The danger of Louisville creeps closer. 23-22, North Carolina will use their final timeout of this thrilling 4th set. How about that? French fries in the kill category.
That is a thing of beauty if you are Carolina. And this is exactly what we were pointing to in the first set. The fact that their strength is to be able to move the ball all along the net. And it was Louisville who created all sorts of pressure from the service line and negated this ability for them to spread their offense. But the spread offense is on full display in set 4.
If you're Mike Shaw, you love these pressure opportunities. You experienced them as a player. 5 national semifinal appearances and a 99 title under Russ Rose as a coach. The 2-time co-captain of his Penn State men's team in a pressure-filled situation here with his number 21 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels, putting all they can up against the number 8 ranked Louisville Cards, who remember were in that national final a year ago against Penn State. Playing entirely at home. That was a wild run, 5-1 at home in the playoffs because you went all the way to the title. Won a thrilling 34-32 second set to Dan Meskey as the associate head coach under Danny Busboom Kelly there. Both these teams trying to craft a return.
What's at stake? You see it, and I would dare to say for Louisville, also the ability to close out a big match where you had a 2-0 lead. That is huge for Louisville and for North Carolina. a absolutely massive start to the most important stretch of 4 matches their program has ever seen.
Who's going to play a little semi-sonic at the end of the 4th set here? It's closing time for Laney Smith. Set point to go to a 5th, to thrill the home crowd, and to maybe upset the number 8 team in the nation. Good rotation. Barrett back, Thorpe back. Transition's got to be a no-brainer here.
Exactly.
Naked 2, dug up. It'll have to just be put back over. Right side, Blackshear this time. Taylor with the touch. Other way, to the other pin, and it's a winner. So they'll have another shot at it here before we look at some overtime. UNC must side out. Who do you set right now? Thorpe is on the left. Pierce is on the right.
I like the Thorpe set. Even on the left side, I just think she brings a power to her swing that can actually end it.
Rotation 1, crowd on their feet. Second set point. Chicoine. Pierce, pass. And long. No hands, and we are tied. No timeouts, Carolina. Chicoine composes herself. A little moment is end. Pierce high in the air. Thorpe left side. Blocked! And Louisville will have a match ball. You must win by 2.
This is an interesting rotation for Carolina because for as good as these pin players are, they are in different rotations.
I think they're going to run Thorpe across.
They're going to run her across.
Look at the middle of your
Change
screen.
their serve receive.
She'll sprint towards the top of your screen to attack on the right.
Absolutely. Trying to put her in a position she's comfortable and successful. She's available. She's available.
She gets it and hits it without contact. Louisville wins the match except for the obligatory challenge here. But it looked like no